everybody, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Rosalia, and I have something new and out of the box to share with you. I was looking through some of my stuff and I came across my x-ray films. Yes, x-ray films, you heard me right. I looked at it, it's just a sheet of plastic. That's how I saw it. So I thought of experimenting with them, and I started out with embossing folders. And I took it through my embossing folder, the Big Shot, you know, the regular thing as usual. And look how nice that turned out. And if you can see this light area here, this grayish area here, that's my image. It just adds more interest to your work. This is another embossing folder. I thought I'd fuzzy cut it and see how it does with scissors. Just beautiful. I enjoyed cutting this. This is one of those thin dies. It cuts really nice with thin dies. Look how delicate this is, and it came off nice and clear, just beautiful. This is a Holtz Die, and look how nice, look how delicate it is, and it cut really beautiful. Another embossing folder that I used was this one here, and this has a shiny and a dull side. It's just that when I tried to do the shiny, it gave it a lot of glare, and I just wanted to show you how nice. And either way, either side works, but I just wanted to show how nice it took the embossing folder. That one and this size embossing folder, a bunch of letters. With this one here, okay, I did some letters. It does take it very nice. Even the shiny part looks really good. I also took and used it on my Cricut. Now I have the original Cricut. It comes with the green needle. The green needle is not going to work because I put it on the highest pressure and on the highest deep, needle that it sticks out. It didn't work, but I had the blue needle, which is used for thicker material. It cut really fine. Look how nice the letters will come out. I took it a little further with this and I embossed with it. I took my Versamark and my embossing powder, did my thing, and I heat embossed it. Now you have to be careful because it can melt your film. So just do it where the embossing does its thing and stop there. And it turned out very nice. I was really surprised. I also took glitter glue. I just took out a glitter glue. It doesn't matter. You'll have to experiment with different ones, but this one was the scribble type, and it took the glitter glue really nice. It doesn't come off at all. Washi tape, it's an adhesive. I think because it's adhesive, it takes it really nice, okay? So, just experiment with different things, and you'll learn what works and what doesn't. In addition to that, as far as the dies are concerned, I took and I used the Holtz Tattered Florals. Oh my goodness, I just loved it. I have fun with this. It cuts out so nice, right? And it's flat, so you always want to give some dimensions to your flower depending on what kind of work you're doing. So the best thing that I came up with at the beginning was just bending, just pinching the petals and bending them that way. And it did give it some nice texture. I really did like the way it turned out. And with this one here, this was nice too. Pencils, dowel, no, it's not going to work. So what worked for me was doing it with my finger, because this is really flat right here, okay? And I think that from the friction and the heat that is produced, that you produce from the friction, it just curls up really fast. Okay, so it gives it a really nice curl there. Look at that. So I did it with my finger. The large one, I think I showed you, I don't know, I pinched it. It just looks great. And that's how I got some dimension, since if you want some dimension on that flower, and the black flower looks so gorgeous. So I took it a step further and I said, okay, let me see how it does with the my heat gun. Well, I was glad to do that. This flower I had made earlier, a day or two ago, just like this. Just pinched it, nothing major. Punched a hole, put a little brad on it. It looked really good. So I wanted to see what would the heat gun do. Of course, I knew it would melt it, but I wanted to see how far I can take it to give me a nice effect. It gave me a nice effect. It really curled everything up. So if you really want a lot of dimension, I will go this route. Just use your heat gun, get the effect that you want. In addition to that, I noticed that when I let it heat up really, really good, look at the silvery lines, gives it such a nice texture. So if you heat it right, you will get that silvery lines, and it looks so nice, and get a nice curl in addition to that, and it just sort of like melts the plastic in such a way that the flower looks just wonderful. I really like that effect. So that's a lot of dimension there. So just do, depending on your work, you know, you do a little bit or you do a lot. That's with that. I also experimented with the punches. Nice, really nice. Check it out. These are the large punches, okay? So it really cuts out really good. And then I tried the Martha Stewart, because I want to see what corners it will take. Doesn't take too many corners. You just be very careful with your corner punches. But this one did really good. I liked it. And I also did the Martha Stewart Scallop. Really nice. Turned out really good. All right. Doesn't take all the punches. You just got to experiment. And I really like the way that cut. Now, there are some punches that have a lot of really intricate pieces to it. It did not cut for me at all. Didn't even, and I think this was one of those thin dies, you know, by Spellbinder. Didn't do anything. This one was by Martha Stewart. Oh my God, that punch is so hard, right? But this was even harder. So, oh no, it was a butterfly that was hard. But in any case, it didn't cut. The only reason it's cut out is because I fuzzy cut the edges that did not cut out. And I'm not doing that. So the heart is not going to work for me. It didn't work for me. But you try it. Maybe you're stronger than I am. It just didn't work for me. So careful with those punches that have very intricate pieces. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about also, once you cut your pieces, you're left with this here. And I have a couple of videos about using your negatives. Check it out. It really is really cool. And these negatives, the material is so nice that they become a stencil. So I did this. I took my ink, my little sponge ink, put this down, started dabbing away, and you get to use it as stencil. This one here with the flowers, put it down, go ahead with your sponge and your ink, and you have a nice image. So don't get rid of your stencils, and I can imagine what the number of dies that you will have, and the negatives can become beautiful stencils. So that's a really plus there. With the again, this is another one that has, you know, from the when you cut out on your Cricut the letters. Look at that. That's a stencil. You can cut out any word, and then you can use that as stencil at a different project. I think that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have fun with your x-rays. Do not throw them away. Find out in your family who has some, and experiment. Have fun. Thanks a lot. Bye. Happy scrapping.